How are you guys doing? This is Ryan. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the update on the effects of COVID-19 effects on the economy. And boy, have things changed very fast. We're watching the world economy shut down in front of us, and specifically our economy that we live and work in. I work in the hospitality business here in South Florida, and I gotta say about half of my clients have shut down their businesses, and the other half can only do takeout business, and their business is down over 50%. And this isn't our money-making season. We've lost tons in revenue. In Florida, we really rely on our winter months to make money for the entire year because the weather's so beautiful when it's winter everywhere else. Here in Palm Beach County, we have the boat show, we have Sunfest, St. Patty's Day parades, all of that. Billions lost in revenue. All the snowbirds who are usually dining at restaurants are all gone. And that's my customer base. And it is truly amazing how quickly this happened. And fortunately, you know, I always kind of prepare for worst case scenario. And I promise no matter what, I'm gonna make it through. I'm like a cockroach. It's hard to get rid of me. I think when you look at the world in total right now, we're 2 weeks into like really the economic effects of this pandemic, and we're already seeing massive layoffs going on. And I think this is a very important lesson to be learned. Airlines have been slow for 2 weeks, and they're already crying to the federal government for a bailout. My friend Logical Finance brought up a really good point. What do they do with those tax cuts they got? Those billions of dollars they're making in revenue. They bought back their stock and spiked up the stock price. Now that they're losing money, they gotta come cry to the taxpayer, and we gotta bail them out. In personal finance, we teach about emergency funds and being ready for a rainy day, and boy, is a rainy day here. And he said it well, you know, we subsidize the losses and privatize the gains. So the taxpayer takes care of the losses, but this corporation makes the gains. Let them go bankrupt. Honestly, let them go bankrupt. It's not gonna happen, but it would be the morally right thing to do. And people say, oh, they're too big to fail. That's not true. There's companies with billions of dollars of revenue on their balance sheet that could scoop them up and buy them and take over. And when the economy turns around, they can make those billions of dollars. I think that everyone has to look at it the same way. We have to become more personally financially responsible.
Okay.
We have to have emergency funds, right?
Yeah, emergency funds.
Emergency funds. When things aren't going right, we have to have money to make it through the hard times.
Okay.
I'll teach you these lessons, okay?
Okay.
So, we see it with small businesses, we see it with everyone, that no one was prepared for this. It's very unique times. I'm only 31 years old, but I've talked to people much older. We've never seen anything like this, where the government is just forcefully shutting down the economy for an indefinite period of time. And it's important to stay optimistic during this time. We have a falling stock market over 30%. And honestly, the most challenging thing to me is that I just feel like I can't invest more into it because I have to be prepared for the worst of possible times. I'm not sure how long the storm is going to go on. You know, I'm ready for a return to normalcy, but I'm trying to look at China. Me specifically, I'm in the restaurant business. Restaurants in China like Starbucks closed for 31 days. Another restaurant chain closed for about 40 days. And then we're looking at a restart up. So we're looking at quite a bit of time of difficult times where I have to be prepared to pay bills to take care of my family, and you're just hoping for a return to normalcy. It's starting to turn out where people I don't personally know have the virus, but people within my inner circle I'm hearing have the virus. So we are seeing these pandemic levels where one day nobody has it, the next day a few people have it, and then it's gonna feel like everyone has it. And this storm will pass. The question is how long, and then how long will the economic domino effect of how many people have financial strains from this and how far it strains the system. How many people will lose their businesses, how many people will lose their mortgages. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And another thing, touching on these major corporations and these businesses, the layoffs happen right away. The employees that put in all the work to grow the value in their company, they're gone right away. CEOs and shareholders are always protected. I think it's very important to think about that when you're on your journey, that you need to find ways to be self-sufficient. You know, relying on someone else to pay you is very hazardous because no matter how much you love that person, their mortgage will get paid in 4 years. So you have to get creative and you have to fight. So if you're watching this and struggling, lost your job, follow this channel, subscribe, follow me. We're all gonna go through this journey together. It's gonna be one of the toughest times in recent memory. I think the economy will have a strong reversal once we get back to some kind of normalcy. I think the market will respond quickly, and I think people will start rehiring pretty quickly because the businesses are there. Like, for example, I'm in the restaurant business. The restaurants are there. The equipment's there. Everything's there. Just people are at home right now because they're being quarantined. And honestly, I did underestimate the effects of coronavirus, just because I've lived through things like bird flu, swine flu, H1N1, SARS, Ebola, and they've never impacted the economy to this scale. So this is unprecedented. But these dire situations bring opportunity for investors, and also they bring out creative opportunities for entrepreneurs. If you've ever followed the company Airbnb, they were started up around the financial crisis, and actually when their business was not making any money, they weren't able to live off of it. During the 2008 presidential election, they started selling presidential themed cereal. That's how they funded their business. And actually, when they went to venture capital to help grow their business, they showed them the cereal boxes. And like I said earlier in this video, that venture capitalist said, "You guys are a cockroach. I will invest in you. You guys are doing whatever it takes to make it happen." So I think it's time to get creative. I think it's time to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And I'm even considering, you know, if I have to go time without making money, I'm considering getting a job with like delivery dudes. I want extra money to deploy in the stock market right now, because this could likely be fire sale prices that can really allow my wealth to grow much faster. And when you think about that, so we're either in a stock market crash and a short-term recession, or we're in a long-term depression. So if I go all in, do whatever I take to put as much money in this market as possible, and we rebound relatively quickly, like a lot of previous recessions, I make a lot of money. If I do the same thing and I put money in and we're in like a depression for some reason, then I'm poor because the market takes forever to rebound. It took the Great Depression, it took forever the market to rebound. But even if I hold on to my cash, I'm probably poor anyways too. So either way, you're poor. So I see risk as the most logical, you know, way to go here. So I'm ramping up my investments. Like I said in last week's video, I'm getting greedy when others are fearful. I'm not worried about the amount of dollars in my brokerage account. I'm worried about the amount of shares and cryptocurrencies that are in my brokerage account. I'm worried about the quality of the companies that I own and how much dividends they'll pay me. I even was able to buy back into Tesla. They came under the price that I sold them at, and I was able to buy them in the 350 range. I'm ready for this market. I'm ready for the bear market. Are you? If you're ready to fight through this bear market, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It greatly helps this video reach a broader audience. And I think this is really a time to connect with people. Right now we're all quarantined. YouTube is one of the biggest things right now that we have to communicate with people, because we literally can't even visit people. I'll also put my Instagram handle here. If you're struggling with anything, I'm just here to help people. Honestly, I'm in the same boat. It's time to fight. Whatever it takes to get creative as an investor, entrepreneur. Let's make it through, let's push through. If you're watching this video, I believe in you. I think you have what it takes to make it if you're actually searching out this kind of content. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next one.